This is Miss Welsh, and today we're going to be learning about how to do patterns and what a pattern is and what a motif is. So the first thing I always tell everybody is first name, last name, teacher number on the back of their paper. So everybody knows what those are. You've already written on the back of the paper. And we need to do 8 original motifs. Now we have this big piece of paper. How am I going to do my original motifs? Okay. First, we're going to take our paper and fold it in half like this. Next, we're going to take our paper and fold it in half like this. And then fold it one more time like this. Okay. Now, if we did this right, when we open it up, we should have 8 squares or rectangles. Okay, and I'm going to go over top of those. You're going to be using a pencil. I'm using markers so that shows up on the camera. Okay, so here's my dividing line, which is a fold. Here's another line that is a fold. Here's another line that is a fold. Here is the last line that is a fold. So that gives me 8 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. In the top left-hand corner of each box, you're going to make another rectangle that's big enough for you to write things in. Now, no matter what grade level and what project we're doing, if we're working with patterns, this is a good thing to do. Okay. Now, our small boxes are motifs. I want you only to worry about motifs for this first portion. We will worry about patterns later on, but we're just learning about motifs. So, Miss Welsh, what is a motif? Well, a motif is a part of a pattern. Okay, it's not the whole pattern, it's part of a pattern. So if we think about measurements, a motif would be an inch and the pattern would be the foot, or 12 inches. So we know that 1 inch needs to repeat over and over and over again until there's 12 of them, and that makes a foot. Okay, it's a good way to think about things. So if my motif is triangle, circle, square, okay, my pattern is going to be triangle, circle, square, triangle, circle, square, triangle, circle, square. Okay, and then I would keep repeating it over and over and over again because patterns can go on forever. And I want to try to do this as neatly as possible. Now, for our motifs, we are worried about shapes and lines. And we've learned about shapes and lines in the past. Okay, we have shapes that are geometric. So geometric shapes would be your square, your rectangles, your circle, your oval, your triangles. Remember, there's 3 different types of triangles. Okay? All the agons, octagon, pentagon, okay, and things like that. But you can also have some fun and have things like that, like a horseshoe, or you could do something that's shaped like a light bulb, or a leaf, or a cloud, heart, or even a star. Okay, there's tons and tons of shapes out there. Okay, lines. There's lots of lines out there. We have vertical, we have horizontal, we have diagonal goes that way, we have diagonal that goes that way. We have dotted, we have dashed. Now remember, dotted and dashed can also go in all these different directions too. Okay, we have wavy, we have zigzag. Now remember, make sure wavy looks like wavy and zigzag looks like zigzag. Wavy is nice and gentle, zigzag is kind of pointy and harsh. Okay, you have spiral, you have maze, okay, and you have curved. Okay, you can have thick lines and you can have thin lines as well. And all the different types of lines can all be dotted or dashed or thick or thin. So there's lots of variety going on. Okay, so Miss Welsh, what does this have to do with my motifs? Well, for our projects that we're working on, these are just the two things I want you to worry about: shapes and lines. All right, so let's go back to our original piece of paper, the one with all the boxes on it. Okay, if you are in first grade, you're only going to have one thing in each of the smaller boxes. If you're in second grade, two different things. They always have to be different. Third grade, three different things. And fourth and fifth, four different things. Okay, four different things. They can't repeat. So let's see what Miss Welsh means. Okay. In our motif, if we are doing three things or even two things, that's not going to be a motif because they are both the same. So we don't want that. This would be a better option. Okay. However, if one of our motifs is that, we can't do another motif like that. Why? Because when we start to make it into a pattern, they're going to look exactly the same. And we want 8 different patterns. Okay. So I'm going to be doing this like I'm a third grader, where I have 3 things. If you're in 4th or 5th grade, you're going to have 4 different things. You could have more, just don't have less. All my grades, you can always have more, just don't have less, okay? Don't make it too hard on yourself either. So I think I'm going to go through and mark out how many things. 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things. 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things. And I'm going to go through, make sure that way I have enough room. And I also take the time out to think about my motifs and make them what they need to be. And these are just little blanks that, hey, you need to fill these in. So I'm going to start off, and my favorite thing are spirals. So I'm going to go through and put spirals in where I want them to be. My next favorite thing is the mazes. So I'm going to put those in where I want them to be. Okay, but great. Now I have spirals and mazes down. I still have these other blanks. Okay, so I need to seriously think about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Okay, but do you notice I didn't put any of the spirals in the same blank? Okay, I changed it up a bit. So I might go over here and make this one a heart. Okay, I might make this one a right triangle. Okay, I might make this one a leaf. Okay, I'm going to make this one a heart. Okay, let's see what else I got. Okay, a light bulb. I'll make this one a light bulb. Or mushroom, or whatever you think it is. This one, I'm going to put a cloud. Okay, this one, did we use star yet? Nope, star. Star in, and the thing that looks like a horseshoe or a rainbow. Put that in right there. Okay, but I still have blanks left, so I still need to go through and add things. Now in this one, I can't use a spiral, I can't use a heart. So I need to find something else. So maybe a half circle would be cool. All right. Now remember, no lines and no letters and no numbers and no words. We are just worried about shapes and lines. So let's make sure we know that no words, no letters, no numbers. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody's still on point with that, understands that, things like that. But now this one is a full motif. Okay, so I need to go through and figure out the rest. Okay, so I'm looking at these two. They both have spirals in it, so I can't put a triangle there and I can't put a leaf there. So I need to figure out something else. So I'm going to put an oval in this one and maybe a cloud in this one. Okay. Now I'm looking at my mazes. So there's lots of things I can do. So I think I'm going to put a star here. And let's see, wavy line here. I'm going to put a zigzag here. I'm going to put a dotted diagonal line here. And a rectangle here. So now I have all of my motifs. They're all completely different. So that's pretty cool. Okay. My next step to this would be going through and taking my motif and turning into a pattern, because we just did our motif. So we did our parts. Now we need to make it a pattern. So one big square at a time, I'm going to go through and repeat the exact same thing in the exact same order that I have in the little one. Okay, so this is going to require time to do. Okay. So I know you guys are really super duper smart and understand what I'm doing. So we're going to imagine that Miss Welsh went through and filled up all of this. Okay, so I filled up this one. Okay, now I'm going to fast forward and fill up this one. Now remember, when you're doing your triangles, you want your triangles to look the same. Try not to make them look different. Okay, because when they start to look different, it stops becoming a pattern. So you're going to go through, oops, did I make a mistake? Let's see, triangle, spiral, oval, triangle, spiral. This one was supposed to be an oval, and this one's supposed to be a triangle. So you need to be careful and pay attention to what you're doing. If you make a mistake, you need to make mistakes. Now I did a marker, so it's kind of hard to fix, but you should be doing yours in pencil, so it'll be nice and easy to fix. Okay, so I would finish up this one, filling it up all the way, and then I would go through and do the rest of them. Okay, so that's part one of this assignment.